Hi, my name is Michael Geoffroy, and I am teaching genetics during the next semester at Gun Island High School. And here's my back-to-school presentation. A little bit of background about myself. I went to the University of Maryland and got a degree in biology. I then worked on the Potato Genome Project as a research assistant for 3 years, went back to the University of Maryland and got my master's in education. And I've been teaching ever since 2010, I believe, at 3 different schools. This is my 3rd year at Ken Island. You can see all the various courses I've taught at all those schools. My basic philosophy and policies during the class, I'm really big on teamwork. From day one, the students will be grouped into cooperative teams that they'll work in the entire semester, teams of 3 or 4 students. They will answer daily questions in those groups, do labs in those groups, do projects. Basically, that's kind of their little study group to work with anytime they need extra help or have a problem. And I try to use all various learning styles in my teaching. I do kind of do the genetics course a little bit more like college, so I'll have a bit more focus on like just PowerPoint notes. But we will do a lot of labs, a lot of hands-on activities, a lot of online simulations, kind of virtual labs. We'll be looking at some case studies. We will have some discussions or debates towards the end of the semester on some ethical issues, like should we bring back extinct animals? Should we genetically modify foods? Should we genetically modify ourselves and our offspring? And there will be a lot of reading and writing too. Those debates will have essays that go along with them, and there will be kind of smaller periodic writings as we go. And then some specifics about the genetics course. It's designed to be somewhere between biology that students saw in 9th or 10th grade and college genetics. The textbook that we use is actually the University of Maryland sophomore level genetics textbook. It's pretty high level. We won't use it a lot, but that kind of gives you an idea of what the level of the course is. We're going to progress from kind of the classical genetics, like Mendel and Punnett squares, talking about his pea plants, that kind of thing, to more molecular genetics and genomics. So kind of what's happening inside the cell at the molecular level. How does DNA actually replicate? How does your cell use DNA to make protein? Get into a little bit more specifics. And then I already mentioned you can see we're doing those different ethics debates. So now that we know all of the information about how our DNA works and how the cells use it, we can talk about what should we do with that information. The materials needed for the course are pretty standard. Pencil or pen, a notebook, could be composition notebook like that, spiral notebook, or loose leaf paper in a binder. That's student choice. Laptops will be needed every day. Scientific calculator will be needed occasionally, not a graphing calculator, just the scientific kind that has an exponent and a log button on top of the basic functions, and then closed-toed shoes for labs. All right, my policies. I'm available after school until 3:30, and I prefer if a student tell me in advance if they would like me to stay for them for extra help. That could be for just daily help or test corrections. Late work, any summatives that are late, like projects, essays, that kind of thing, those will be 10% off each day that they're late. Any formatives, I don't take late work. So classwork and homework are due the next day at the beginning of class or whenever I say they're due, and if they're not turned in, they just get a 0. I also have a no phones policy. There's no reason to have a phone out. We have calculators, we have laptops. So if I see a phone during class, I'll just take it and put it in my desk so that it's no longer a distraction during that class period. And my contact information, there is my email address. That's the best way to get a hold of me. There's the school phone number with my extension. And my syllabus with all of this information and maybe a bit more is on my teacher homepage on kihigh.org. All right, I look forward to a great semester of genetics.